onto their consoles? And this actually proves that Microsoft is not really worried about exclusives. Microsoft is primarily worried about getting games into people's hands, and then reaping the benefit of having all the licenses to make money to continue and make things sustainable. And we saw this a couple months ago with Microsoft bringing 4 previously exclusives like Sea of Thieves and Grounded to PlayStation and Nintendo consoles. And I think a lot of people will look at this as like a hugely negative thing for Xbox, but this is actually a good thing for gamers. Sea of Thieves and Grounded, these are going to add a massive player base to an already growing game. Some people are going to think, oh, this means that Microsoft is failing. What Microsoft is doing is not worried so much about their exclusives only on their consoles. They want to get these games out everywhere. The more people that are playing on Sea of Thieves or playing on Grounded is going to be better overall for us as gamers. When exclusives are gone, we are the ones that win. And I'm not predicting that that will absolutely happen, especially with the old ingrained IPs from Nintendo, and Sony has been extremely staunch about not even releasing day one their exclusive.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear where the focus must take place on software, studio, game development, and provision of those games. Now, if there's no games in the next 10 years, there won't be any monthly subscribers. There won't be any purchases. There won't be any of this. So the emphasis is clear, is on making software. Now, because there's an age group of young people who can't buy the Family Store plastic box Series S, you can open up certain games with a younger audience of G-rated games such as Grounded and Sea of Thieves are children's games. Now that made sense. However, 15 or 18 and over MA restricted games should stay on the Xbox platform ecosystem. Games like Hellblade, Halo, Gears, Starfield, etc., stay on Skyrim, Fallout 5, Redfall 2. Stay on the Walled Garden. Now, I've talked about the Walled Garden a few times. It's necessary to, at times, go touch upon the Walled Garden. The Walled Garden is there because the other plastic boxes aren't of the highest quality and standard. And so with our plastic box, with the Family Store plastic box, you can provide software that is of high quality to a hardware that's of a high quality. You should see this more and more of content creators coming out and saying, yes, this is the point. The point is to drive forward with software from studios. That is how you go forward. That is where the focus is. That's what's happened. That's what has been successful. That is the hype. The hype was Halo Infinite. The hype was Starfield. The hype is Gears 6. It's locked in. These titles have come to market, and these new titles will come to market, and this will create hype and create anticipation for these titles such as Gear 6 to be released to the fanfare, to the fans. Ideally, fans from the age of 18 to 58. And I think that's a pretty good slab of a niche to look at and exploit. Crossplay has worked out where collectively there's a collective pool of Xboxes and PlayStations now that represent the console industry, the console market. And if the Family Store can play its cards right, maintaining the Walled Garden and then some items building their IP, building their franchise with the collective console industry seems to be a pretty useful thing. But there's only so many games that are going to be family games or general rated games. So what I'm saying is sort of counter to, oh, let's have a handheld. It's counter to even hardware. And as the video was presented as Xbox Basement, he's sort of saying it may actually just all go away from hardware. Like he's keying in with something crucial that's been heard before and been reverberated amongst a few people in terms of, does Xbox go software only? And I think it's a pitch that needs to be looked at. And I think the obsession towards hardware needs to be looked at. And I think is if you're creating games that are selling, creating big, fat, juicy profits. Now the problem is, how do you get your games out there on a quality system? Hence, making your own hardware. Hence, there is a niche that's available to have a business. And I think the hardware, as the console market will hold up, yet handhelds is going to be one of those markets that may not eventuate with the Xbox ecosystem.